So welcome to another episode of Questionable Personalities with Mistress Schari.
Your favorite Dom.
Exactly, favorite Dom stuck in a house. So now we want to we're going to talk about what it's like to and what do you do now that you're stuck in a house? You can't see anyone, and how did that change everything for you?
Well, I have options. I do. So that's the good news. But first, how are you guys though? Everyone's safe and happy, and
everyone's on house arrest. So
safe and bored.
All right. Well, yeah, right. This is incredibly boring.
Yeah.
I've had to learn to do my own nails. This is
I'm
like
worried
a barbaric thing.
I'm worried that I might not catch coronavirus, but I might catch agoraphobia.
that could happen.
Because I'm not going to want to go out.
Yeah. All I know is that, can we please just stay in for let the weather get nice, because then I could at least be out by my pool.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it doesn't sound so daunting to be stuck at home when you have something fun to do outside.
Yeah.
But other than that, I got a camera, I got a fire stick. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I've done to join the new century since this happened. I feel like a very, big girl Dom now, because I have all this technology at my fingertips.
I don't even have that. I'm working on I'm using a work computer.
Oh.
So
well, my work computer really wouldn't be a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm just on the abacus.
Just on the abacus, still calling in on tape recorder, right?
Yeah, it's an iAbacus. It's a Mac version.
I find myself listening to a lot of 80s radio, like through my computer and stuff now. Like, it seems weird, but I'm getting very nostalgic. And they keep talking about the times do you remember when we had to record something on the radio? Like, you wanted to save a song or make a mixtape, and you had to wait till the DJ stopped speaking and pray that you got to it on time and all that. And I just think, like, wow, it's so much easier now. Like, what, they take it for granted.
Yeah.
Like everything else these days.
I mean, I think most kids these days don't even own any music.
No. There's no point of owning it. You can't really own it.
We just boxed up all of my compact discs, like all of them, all my CDs, because I'm like, I really don't need them.
Oh, yeah. Mine are in the closet over there because I like physical media. I won't buy MP3s for the most part, unless I'm just buying like one-hit wonder type things.
Mm.
But otherwise, I'll buy a whole album still.
Really? Good for you. Well, it's good.
And I'll rip it,
Yeah, I mean, if it's a great album, like the Stones came out with a new song, I can't wait to get that. And it's all about
I have my collection.
Isolation.
I have my collection of wax cylinders.
Wax cylinders, 8-track tapes.
Yeah.
Well, in honor of you guys, I did pour a drink, because I know we usually drink when we're together.
Oh.
So I didn't. Do. Yeah, I knew it. I knew Alex would be ready with that.
And there's my water.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. So it's been interesting, to say the least. I do a lot of phone consultation and coaching, but it's really hard to ask somebody to spank themselves.
Yeah.
So there's that. I mean, and believe it or not, I've seen a few clients, because a lot of them didn't go out before this.
Oh, they were like shut-ins?
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily that, but they worked from home before this. A lot of them were doing computers and things that they really didn't come into contact with people before this. Yeah. And some of them are, I don't want to generalize and say that they're all socially inept, but a few of them are socially awkward. So they didn't really, they're not a threat to me. They don't see anybody. So I feel confident seeing those kinds of clients, because I'm probably their only human contact anyway. So that hasn't been bad, but it's incredible the level of email that I've gotten since nobody has anywhere else to be.
Yeah.
Email from the regulars or new people?
Both. Both new people, a lot of young people, because my guess is they're more bored than even we are. Like, I can still find things to do, because I remember what life was like before going out and go like having the internet and entertainment at my fingertips. So like I redesigned my whole office this week. I'm finding things to do, but younger people seem to have a harder time not being able to socialize and not going out. So I've been getting a lot of email. So I'm actually going to be doing an online class because of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
What's
pretty
that?
cool.
What's that about?
How to catch a cougar.
Oh.
Well, all you need is a large box, a stick, string, and some M&Ms, right?
For those, yes, but we are a little bit more sophisticated. And no, it's incredible the amount of messages I get that just go like this. Sup?
That's it.
That's it.
That's
And it occurred to me that maybe some people would benefit from a little lesson in how, if you truly are interested in getting an older woman to pay attention to you, sup is not going to cut it. It's just not going to work. No. And if you don't include the apostrophe to really emphasize it, then I'm out. Because now I know you don't know how to spell.
Well, that's like too verbose.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Forget it. So, but the fact that I can do it online and everything makes it really affordable. So I'm going to do it like for $5 a class.
Wow. Well, if you pack enough people, I guess.
Yeah. You might as well, because it's really easy to do. It's amazing how easy it is and how much I've resisted doing it, thinking it was so difficult and so hard, but it's really not.
That is a class I'd like to audit.
Would you? I will make sure to save you a ticket then.
Well, that's the class we should record for the podcast.
Yeah, right. But yeah, no, I'm going to do it in 3 parts. So it's the first one, and they're going to be on Fridays in May. So the first one starts on May 15th. And the link will be posted by tomorrow for everybody to because you pay in advance and all that good stuff, but it'll all be up tomorrow. And it's basically, how to catch the cougar. So how to get her attention, how to like even engage into a conversation with her that she's going to care about. Because so often they're talking to me about things that like, I have no idea, like I don't know that band. I don't know, like TikTok. Oh my God, they're always mentioning, are you on TikTok? I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
That's the wrong strategy for somebody who's 50.
Exactly. Like, so if you're coming to me, then you got to come to my level. Don't make me come to yours. You've got to learn what about me before I can learn about you.
And some stimulating conversation, I imagine, too, right?
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and it's just incredible how even when you ask them, so what made you contact me, or what I don't know, or you were hot, or it's just, you can still say those things to a woman. Of course she wants to hear that, but like, throw some adjectives in, throw some like, maybe, oh, well, you know what, I was just hanging out watching TV, kind of this, I came across it, give me a conversation starter. So, because quite honestly, I would imagine that a lot of people are doing this online kind of preliminary dating. Like, this is the best time to get to know somebody because you're forced to.
Yeah.
The rush to meet and booty call and all that is taken away from you. So use the time wisely. So I'm only going to make them an hour long because I don't think the attention span would be longer than that.
Probably 5 minutes would be better.
Yeah.
Right. But unfortunately, there's more than 5 minutes worth of information that I need to get through. Just the whole please stop asking me to take a selfie from every angle conversation takes a couple of minutes. But it's going to be how to catch a cougar, how to keep her, and how to let her go. Because a lot of them want to, they're done or she's done or whatever, but you want to maintain a friendship. And it's nice if you could do this. So I'm going to cover everything. And in there, I will mix in, if somebody has written in their profile as the first sentence, professional Dom, please don't act shocked when I tell you it costs money to see me. Please don't suddenly say, oh, I didn't see that, because now I know you didn't read my profile. How do you miss that?
They might not know what professional means.
They may not. And that's why I'm going to go over it a little bit. That'll be like a little bit, but it's not going to be the focus. It's really going to be more of a, you know, how do you get my attention, or women like me?
Yeah.
You know, because from what I understand, and maybe you guys can attest to this, but when you're younger and you meet an old, it's kind of like a rite of passage to be with an older woman. Well, you know, I can't help it that you didn't have the internet.
Yeah.
But, you know, everybody's porn fantasies, they try to act them out now. And so from what I understand, this is one of them, you know, being with an older woman. But it's not like just, we're not that grateful that a young guy thinks we're, you know, pretty or hot or whatever. Like, if you're not old enough to rent a car yet, it doesn't mean much to me. And if you can't buy me a drink at a bar, again, the whole thing is lost on me that you think I'm good looking, because now I just, you know.
Well, if you can't even put a sentence together.
Right. Like, it's just, I don't know. So I want to give them a little bit of coaching, a little bit of help. And really, I look at it like doing a service, because if they're going to be contacting a lot of women out there, some of those women may be my friends. And this way I'm saving them and sending more interesting men their way.
Are you going to give them a list of movies to watch? They have the vernacular.
Yes, start at the top, right, with Star Wars. Like, if you are gonna speak to a woman who is over 40 and she's into Star Wars, then you better know it. Like, at least understand some parts of it. You know, like, at least get why the Mandalorian is awesome and Baby Yoda's cute.
And Chewbacca is not a reference to a styling of certain hairs.
Exactly, it's not. And you know, there's a lot of questionable characters in Star Wars that, you know, have names that can be confused with other things. So, you know, we want to clear that up.
Are you recommending Night of the Roxbury?
No. No, I would not recommend that movie at all. I would, however, recommend like things like The Princess Bride, you know, which to this day, when some people tell me they've never seen it, I'm like, I don't even get how you understand the internet then.
Well,
because
they don't understand the internet.
Come from there. Huh?
That's what I just found out. And most of them have no clue how anything works. They know how to push buttons. They're completely illiterate when it comes to technology. It's absurd. Half of my students have no clue how to use it.
And they don't know where it comes from. You know, like they don't understand why it's a thing.
Yeah.
You know,
there's no history. There's no, nothing.
Yeah, and for people are, you know, my age, your age, like that takes the joy out of the conversation for us, because then it's, if we have to explain everything, or even if we just have to like constantly remind you where the reference is, like when you talk with your own friends as a young person, you don't have to explain stuff. You've all seen the same movies, you've all been to the same concerts, you've all been, you know, but like if I, you know, wear tie-dye, don't tell me, oh, do you like fish? No. No, if you're
tell them tilapia.
Tie-dye, that's a different band.
Salmon and tilapia then.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Why are we going for swordfish? You know, it's just those kinds of things. You know, we'll talk about the, you know, illustrious dick pic. You know, the unwarranted, here, let me send you a picture of me. No, that is not a picture of you. That's a picture of your dick.
Well, what if it was a picture of them? That would be...
And
from behind.
You know,
they lost their hair.
They might want to look at better camera angles or fix this.
Really bad lighting.
Is there any situation where a dick pic is warranted?
Yes, when it's asked for.
Now,
I mean, absolutely. Sometimes it's asked for. Sometimes they are gracious enough to say, hey, I'd like to send you a dirty picture. Like, first of all, you have to ask a woman, are you even in an area where if you put this up on your screen, you're not going to alarm everyone around you? You know, like there are just certain things that you have to expect when you're speaking to somebody older, that they're going to have different things in their vicinity that you won't, like children. Yeah. You know, or mother-in-laws, or, you know, just, so you have to take those things into consideration. And that's why I'm saying, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with actually asking for or saying, hey, would you mind if I send you this? I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with the dick pic. It's the unsolicited ones that are so alarming. And just so people know, when they send me an unsolicited dick pic, I send it everywhere.
Now, what if you dress it up and make it look like Baby Yoda? You know,
you see,
put a hood on
well,
it.
then now you're speaking my language. Now you put some effort into it. You obviously did some research on stuff that I liked. So I can at least appreciate, like, being like, hey, you know, I didn't really need to see it right away, but I so appreciate you making all that effort.
All right. Well, that's good to know.
And that might actually lead into conversation versus, like, you know, because then I could be like, hey, how did you know that I'm a Yoda fan? Or it's such that's so much more impressive than the dick pic on its own.
Do you like the Muppets?
Yeah, well, you know, the interesting thing about them is that sometimes you get one where you're like, I think you should see someone.
Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't look like Chewbacca without intending to be.
Right. Or maybe, you know, don't wear the ball stretcher for 8 hours a day because it's starting to really take its toll. You know, I mean, I do get some pictures where I can genuinely say there are some men who are not nice to their own penis.
Mm.
You know, like, you know, and if you're like in your 40s, 50s, 60s, and you want to not be nice to it at this point, okay. But if you are in your 20s and you haven't had children yet, yeah, you know, you might want to take a little extra care just in case.
Yeah.
You want to use it for more than a picture. It's just a theory.
I don't even want to know
like
what
I'm
you've
doing
seen.
A real service, huh?
I don't even want to know what you've seen.
No, you don't.
No.
You don't. Although, to your point, I did. Somebody did send me one where they, you know how you can draw on pictures, and
Right,
they drew a cape and like a symbol, like, and made it like it was a superhero. And yeah, that was enough to get a conversation out of me. You know, because that now I'm interested. What made you do it that way? Now there's a conversation. Now I have a reason to talk to you because I'm curious why you gave your penis a cape. You know, something like that. I think that, you know, for most older women, we just want the effort, because a lot of times if you're looking for someone younger, it's because you're looking for someone who has endurance and stamina and is not afraid of a little effort. So
yeah,
we like to see it. Yeah, you know, and so anyway, so I think it'd be a great class, and the fact that it can be online makes it very affordable and, you know, very easy to access. And what else are you going to do for happy hour on Friday?
Yeah, that this may be a whole new economy for you.
You know what? I wouldn't mind, like, because that to me seems fun. And even when people ask me, like, why do you even see younger guys, even professionally or whatever, and I look at it like, I get to teach them how to treat a woman. There's no downside to that.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, because if it just makes them a little bit more aware, a little bit nice, you know, nicer to their current girlfriend, their would-be girlfriend, their future wife, whatever it is, it was worth, you know, then it's worth it to me, and fun. And, you know, and I get a lot of thank you cards.
So do you torture him when making him use complete sentences?
Yes, and not spelling with emojis.
Oh.
You know, like, don't spell with emojis. We don't always know what they mean.
Can you tell them not to use hashtags for everything?
Well, I tell them that hashtags to me means pounds. It means a pound.
Yeah.
You know, like, I worked for a European company for a long time, so literally the hashtag is like, that's the shortened for pounds. Like, that's what you would say, like, you know, and I just find it confusing. I just do.
Well, that's what that Pound Me Too movement was so confusing.
Yes, it was. It was. And then they should have really thought about that ahead of time. But, you know, I wasn't in charge.
Yeah.
You know, had I been in charge, I might have picked something a little different. But
yeah, everyone over 40 was looking at it going, what kind of message are you sending?
Right, exactly. Like, that's what we're saying. Like, very often stuff is like that. it's incredible. And that's the thing, like, learn those mixed messages. Learn that my language is different than yours. And that you can teach me yours. I'd probably love to learn it. Like, every woman wants to be a little hipper, a little cooler, makes us better with our own children. So I like being taught that, but you can't open with it because I'm not going to know. If you send me a bunch of eggplants, I think you want to go out for Italian food. I'm like, do you like eggplant parmesan? I'm not sure what are we going for here?
You should reply with like a bunch of hieroglyphs,
Well, my favorite is when they send me, and I think I've told you that, like, they'll send me a dick pic and they'll say, now your turn. And I go, oh, you want to see my pussy? And I send them a picture of my cat. And my cat's 30 pounds, so he looks very aggressive.
Oh man, I couldn't deal with that.
I know. Could you imagine how, and I even think of even men that are back out there. If you want a younger girl, right? And they're asking you to do stupid shit. Oh, what are you eating? Take a picture of it. Like, who the fuck has time to take a picture of your food? I want to eat it while it's still hot. They're going to kick me out of this seat now because they can only have 10 people in a restaurant as it is. I don't want to have to stop and take pictures of my food for you. Yeah.
Or I've heard of friends who their significant other was like, take a picture of yourself right now. And they're like, yeah, I just woke up and my hair's a mess, or, I'm on the toilet.
That's like the worst thing to say to a woman too. Oh, take a selfie right now. Do you know how much anxiety she has in that moment when you say that to her?
Yeah.
Immediately you're like, no, I am not near good lighting. I don't have a good outfit on. I didn't put makeup on. I mean, that's the panic that women will go through. So, if you say, hey, send me a picture of you, and it doesn't have to be from 5 minutes ago, women are a little bit more at ease with that. Then we get to choose which picture we're sending.
Yeah.
That's much easier for us to handle. But when you demand a selfie in the moment, even my clients are always like, oh, what are you doing now? Take a picture. And I'm like, you want a picture right now? Then you send me $50. Well, I don't want to do that. Well, I don't want to take a picture right now. How about that? I just turn it right back.
Yeah, that's the good part about what you do. See, before you joined us, Alex and I were complaining about, I haven't shaved in 3 days. My quarantine outfit's been just sweatpants and a baseball cap.
I'm going to need a new pair of UGG slippers when I'm done with this, because I've worn holes in these already, because that's all I wear today. I mean, it's gotten to the point where it's like, hey, I'm going to go put on some jewelry and a ball gown so I can go get the mail, and I just want to be show that I made an effort today to get dressed.
Yeah.
A big event, going out to get mail.
Yeah, I read a meme somewhere that they said the most unused garment of, the quarantine will be a woman's bra.
Huh.
Oh, I haven't worn one in a while.
No, you put yours away for quarantine?
Yeah, all my suits are hanging in a closet. I've been wearing sweatpants for 6 weeks.
Yeah, I got to tell you, that it's been really great on my wardrobe. I haven't had to, wash a lot of stockings. I haven't had to worry about somebody shining up my boots. It's that for that, it's been great. But haven't you noticed things I've been running the dishwasher almost every day.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. And I'm going, we're only 3 people. How does that happen? But it's because you're eating every meal at home.
Uh-huh. The refrigerator is packed with leftovers and stuff you haven't eaten yet.
Right. Or I mean, if you start experimenting with cooking and things like that, you're starting to be like, hey, we've had this for a while in our freezer.
Yeah.
Let's try cooking it.
Yeah. We've gotten much better at cooking.
Have you?
Yeah.
Well, that's very good. I think my daughter has. I got to tell you, the worst part about this whole pandemic, which I guess is a blessing and a curse for you guys, but there's no school.
Mm.
Well, so what's the argument for me to tell my kid to get out of bed every day now?
Yeah.
Her answer was, if you buy me a lap desk, I'll put it over myself and I never have to get out of bed. And I'm going, well, I really don't have a counter argument for that.
Yeah.
Well, imagine what the auditions for my 600-pound life would be. For there'll be a lot of candidates.
I gotta tell you, a lot of people have been complaining that they, do. See, I always worked out at home anyway, so for me, that didn't change. So
Yep.
I was fortunate in that respect, Plus, if I really want to run, I just have my dog steal something, and then I have to chase him. For being a dominatrix, I have zero control over my dog.
Well, you got to give up something.
You would think that he'd be the one that would listen to me all the time, but no, he's like, you know what? No way, bitch. I'm done.
He's not afraid of whips.
Completely ignore me, huh?
He's not afraid of your whips.
No, he's really not, and he's very confused by the fact that he has not been in his crate the entire time this has been going on.
Wow.
There's no need. There's someone home all the time.
Yeah.
Like I wish I had submissives that were, paid, were here that often to clean up and, do stuff. But I can't even get out of the house.
Can you get him to wear a hazmat suit?
Huh?
Can you get him a hazmat suit?
I would love to, but a lot of the subs that I have that like to clean for me like to dress in pink frilly things. So the hazmat really kind of ruins the whole fantasy for them.
You just put it over, a little tutu over a hazmat suit.
I figured, someone somewhere very soon, some fetish company is going to come up with some kind of like clear hazmat suit.
Like a bubble. It could be in a bubble.
Be like naked, but not. Huh?
Could liquid latex be a barrier?
I
never used it.
I'm going to look into that though. That'd be awesome.
Head to toe liquid latex.
You would think that it might. Yeah. Well, it might at least protect the person under the latex.
Yeah.
For a small amount of time. Like, I wouldn't think it was like a permanent protection. I don't want to get accused of telling anybody to cover them with head to toe latex now. And, suddenly they do that, like the whole Lysol thing that happened. So I don't want to say that it's a good idea because I've done zero research on it, but, in theory, please don't cover your face with it, whatever you do. You have to be able to breathe and see.
I guess a body condom.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's what it would be. Could you imagine that if that became the norm? And everybody is suddenly walking around in those body condoms. Remember when they came out when we were younger for like a Halloween costume? That would be hilarious. If that turns out to be how we protect ourselves, everybody's got to be in a head-to-toe condom.
Well, who knew the bubble boy was ahead of time, right?
I can't do it. I chafe.
You do. Oh, that's going to be a little rough for you then.
You get one of those bubble boy suits.
So you'll be like, I'll stay indoors then. I'm good.
And think of anybody who's allergic to latex, they have to get the sheepskin body condom.
Which is more expensive. And if insurance doesn't cover it, what do you do?
Yeah.
Lucky for me, I get them wholesale. I always used to, when my brother was in college, from the very first day of his freshman year, I sent to him and his roommates a giant box filled with all different kinds of condoms and lubricant and all kinds of stuff. So it got to the point that the following year, when he moved into the fraternity, they were all like, your sister's going to send that box again, right? We're getting that box, right? And for his whole 4 years of college, I would send them this box. And he heard from some of the guys, like, after he graduated, like a few years later, they were like, dude, it's not the same here without the box. We need the box. Will your sister still send the box? It's like that magic box. It's like, when he turned 21, I got him a beer of the month club. They liked that too. Beer and condoms. That's what I was good for as a sister for birthday presents. I can't complain though. My brother gets me the best present every year. He has a medical marijuana card.
Oh,
there you go.
Okay.
So now he's like the usual for your birthday. I'm like, yeah. And other than that, it's just a lot of, I've really been perfecting my dirty talk.
Are you using just phone or are you online with the video, like Zoom or anything?
Well, considering I hooked up the camera for the first time yesterday, we were just, I just do it on the phone. Cause I think if most of the time I don't want to watch, because it gets distracting or I'll just tell them they're doing it wrong. It's better if I don't see.
Another warning for the cougar people. She'll
Right.
tell you that you're doing it wrong.
Exactly. So, but on the phone, I mean, it's been very liberating. Like, there are things that I feel like I can say when I'm in a phone session that I might not say when I'm in a face-to-face session, just because when you get in the moment and everything, people can get wrapped up in it, and lose sight of like who the players are. But when you're on the phone, that barrier is always there. So you don't have to worry about certain things being misconstrued or, and it's much easier to say at the end of the session, now, this is a disclaimer that this was a phone session and I didn't really, mean that I was going to follow through and set you on fire. That was just for fun.
You can tell them whatever you want that you're wearing or what you're doing.
And that's exactly right. Like, like there was one client that I was on the phone with, and he's one of those clients who I adore. He's a good client, but he always, pushes to see less and less clothes on me when we're in a session. So it was fun to be on the phone with him, to be like, hey, guess what? I'm naked and you can't see. And to just torture him with his, like, what he's always wanted. But I could been sitting there in fuzzy pajamas and it's very liberating that way, because I'm able to give the client what they want without really, relaxing my rules much.
Yeah. Then again, knowing the pandemic, you could have been naked.
Absolutely. I mean, I could have been safer that way. But yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's fun doing my job, whether it's on the phone or in session, in person, but it's still not dull.
Yeah.
It's like teachers, I feel bad. I feel awful for I feel like you guys have to work harder now, I feel like, than before.
Yeah, there's a lot more stuff that's all trying to figure it out, I guess, and set it up and then fix it and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, there's no
discipline. But tell me the truth. Is it fun, like, not having to worry about being late for work?
Yeah.
Like not having to contend with traffic?
Yeah, because traffic, honestly, the drive that I have, it can ruin my mood for the whole day sometimes.
I bet. And have you guys driven at all during this pandemic?
Yeah, no, it's nice. There's no traffic at all.
I know. Isn't that great?
Yeah, it's going to really piss me off when it starts up again. Like, I got to move out of here.
Because I think this would get me to go to places in New York again if there were no traffic, but nothing's open, so I can't even go there. And the minute it opens again, it's going to be traffic everywhere. So, but yeah, it's been really nice. Like I even my phone sessions, I'm always on time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's nice. Like tonight, I was only 5 minutes late. That's like a record for me.
Yeah, we were very surprised.
Yeah, that's a record. It is. So that part has been nice to be able to keep a schedule.
Yeah, just that you can't get out of the house exactly.
Right.
To even go to a park, which is kind of ridiculous. Or
right.
Cemeteries are closed. I'm like, well, that makes no sense.
Well, and I have to tell you something. I live with a first responder. So for me, I get kind of like a worst case scenario when it's a play-by. How was your day? I don't want to know how his day is now.
Yeah.
Like it's he's like, well, I stood at the end of their driveway and yelled that they can't do that. But you also get like sad truths, like domestic violence is way up.
Yeah.
I had to explain to my father why they don't close liquor stores during this time. He's like, I don't understand why they're closing my golf course, but they'll keep a liquor store open. I'm like, because if you don't play golf, you're not going to end up in the hospital. If you don't drink, you could.
Soon enough, people will be so pissed off that they're going to have to reopen stuff. You can't.
Well, Saturday the golf courses are opening up.
The parks, I think, supposed to open. We're going to get cut off in less than a minute. So when we do, I'll just restart it.
Okay. I think I can handle it. Just remind me. I have to restart the audio again.
Yes, if you want to speak.
Yeah. And you do want to speak.
Okay.
So maybe we should just not do anything for the last minute.
Just
Well,
not just like, do nothing.
It's less than a minute.
How's my
so.
hair look though? It's still, I did do my hair for this though. That was fun. I haven't done
There
my
you
hair
go.
in a while.
You look very nice. I like the shirt.
Do that again.
Just cut out our stupidities.
Yeah, no, I can cut stuff out. But last time we did one with my friend John, who's a photographer, and the third part I forgot to click on record.
Now, have a lot of you guys been doing a lot of these?
Well, this is the third one, right? We did two before. Yeah, so I mean, it works. It's not ideal because it's a weird image in your computer with like horrible lighting, and I haven't shaved in 3 days and washed my hair, so I'm wearing a baseball cap.
Right. It's like, I always feel like we're gonna look back on this time and it'll be known as like the month no one shaved, the month
it's terrible.
All the women go gray, no one's got their nails done. I mean, there's some real sacrifices some of us have had to make.
I did take a shower yesterday. I just didn't shave or wash my hair.
That's awesome.
I'm halfway there, but I haven't really literally I'm wearing sweatpants every day.
But that's comfortable. I mean, I wear yoga pants all the time anyway, but I will say my skin looks awesome because I don't wear makeup every day now. So like just even that, giving things like, giving your body a chance to breathe.
Yeah.
My Spanx are getting very lonely. I have lingerie going, will you ever wear us again? I'm going to have to teach myself how to walk in high heels again.
What's going to be funny is that, since everyone's eating and then when it's time to go back to work, no one's going to fit in their work clothes. So it's going to be the most ridiculous first day back.
Right. Well, you guys have that advantage. Fortunately, my work clothes are a little bit more demanding, so I have to maintain.
Well, I've been working out twice a day, so I'm doing the opposite of what most people are doing.
You're working out twice a day? That's just overkill.
Well, because I have a gym in my house.
Oh, well, rub it in.
And so it's actually, what else am I going to do all day? I have my commute's 2 hours a day there, right? So I get extra 2 hours at the minimum of extra time. So I'm like, oh, might as well.
Oh, believe me, I'm finding other things to do besides work out.
Oh, I have stuff to do, but this way,
Well, Alex, if you get a bigger beer stein, maybe it'll be heavier. And then when you.
That's true.
You can work your way up to a keg.
I have been drinking with both hands.
Double fisting. Well,
I want to keep even,
Yeah, well, you don't want to be lopsided at all.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I still maintain that I need to drink with a straw, even at home. Because I find at home the spills they're bigger. And then every time I spill anything, it doesn't matter what you spill, my dog is like, is that for me?
Well, that's why you have a dog, right? It's a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, we wanted to rename him Roomba.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's either you get a Roomba or you get a dog, one of the two.
Yes. Getting a dog solves a lot of problems. You either get an alarm system or you get a dog. You get a vacuum cleaner or you get a dog. You get real people as friends or you get a dog.
Yeah, or children or a dog.
Mm-hmm. Well, they did a study that there are more pet adoptions in this last month than ever before.
Wow.
Because parents are like, wow, I really don't want to, what do I do with this child? He has no friends. He can't go out. He can't play. Perfect time for a puppy.
What do you think the numbers of people giving up their children went up?
I know. Well, somebody pointed out that, divorce rate has gone up.
Oh, I'm sure that's going to happen. Lawyers are going to make out in that one.
Nobody was allowed to get married unless you wanted to get married online. You couldn't have a wedding. So it tilts the stat.
Oh, yeah, true.
So it's like an unfair stat. Like you could still get a divorce. You don't have to be present to do that. You just need a fax machine or, a electronic signature thing.
Hopefully you moved out already.
What? Yeah, I know. I have friends that did not.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
They had plans to, and their plans were thwarted.
Yeah.
And one of them has reconciled.
Oh.
Well, you get not much of a choice, though. You kind of enforce.
Well, being forced, I think, in that respect, they had, spending time together forced them to, spend time together, you know. And other times I think when you're forced to spend time together, you're like, wow, I don't realize how much I love my job and time away from you. And oh my God, for me, I never realized how much pent up, not aggression, but you know, like just nervous energy or whatever it is I had, because I always had that outlet for it. Like if something was going on, like, well, okay, I have an appointment tomorrow. I can just beat somebody. Like I can get all that out. I have nobody to abuse unless I get to see a client. And there's not, you know, many of them, and abuse is probably the wrong word to use, but you know what I meant. And it's just sort of like, so anytime I have a client where I actually do get to see them, I'm like, you know, you better brace yourself because it's been a while, and I, you know, I stretched, you know, I got to get ready for it differently. But
you should get
I
a
never
body
realized how
bag.
cathartic it was for me, huh?
Get a heavy bag for some punching.
Yeah, I think no, it's not the same.
You need the feedback, don't you?
Yeah, you need the, you know, the ow or don't or more or yes or no, or just, you know, even the squirming and the, you know, just even the laughter, because, you know, when you figure out someone's ticklish, like if they're all tied up and I get to tickle them, oh my God,
Oh,
that's the best, because they're just sitting there like squirming and moving and laughing. And, you know, it's just pure entertainment for me. And what, you know, really, what, who doesn't like being around laughter? Like who doesn't like that? You know, and so that's a pretty powerful thing. So it,
yeah.
you know, you don't, but I don't realize how much I missed it till you can't do it. You know, like it was very strange to realize that, because I guess I've been doing it for so long, and I always knew, like, oh, you know, I got a lot of like anxiety, or I got a lot of this, I got a lot of that. I just want to let loose some steam. And I always had an appointment at least, you know, a couple days a week or whatever. But like now I'm doing once a week, once every 2 weeks. It's like, what do I do with all this? Like, who do I hit? Who do I, you know, spank? I just want to hear someone scream. That sounds really bad. I hear police files opening up as we speak.
So you're going to be really booked once you're free again.
It's amazing, but I am booked for June. I'm never booked that far in it, like, because people don't know their schedules that far in advance. But there are people who are like, "Oh, I'm making time for this," you know, because for a lot of clients, and these are the ones I feel the worst for, all through February, they were like, "I can't wait till March. I'm finally going to see you in March or April." Like they've been waiting for their for whatever it was. Maybe their wife goes on vacation. Maybe they have vacation. Whatever it is, and then like all of that just sort of like stopped, and everybody had to redesign what they were going to do. I haven't heard from some clients that I used to hear from all the time, and I'm thinking it's because their wife is around them all the time now, and they can't sneak off to text me or to send an email. So there's a couple of those. Like I got a text the other day, like, I finally went to the store. I was, you know, I'm finally away from my wife, because, you know, they don't know. So it's like, you know, and I do send messages every once in a while. I don't want to put anybody in a position where they have to explain things. So I only send an email like once every like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, just being like, hey, just checking in, making sure everyone's, you know, healthy and good. But I have a lot of older clients, and I worry, like, are there some I'm not going to see again? Like, I know that sounds terrible.
Oh,
but
wow, yeah.
I would have no way of knowing, really, if something terrible happened to one of my clients, because it's not like their wife is going to call me up and be like, you know, or their daughter or their, you know, brother is going to be like, hey, I just want you to know your best client is not around anymore. Like,
yeah.
You know, I'm not, unless they put me on that to-call list, I'm not getting that phone call.
But they might find their stash of stuff, and your name might be in it.
Oh my God, I would die. I would love one day to get a box, be like, so and so bequeathed all this to you. You know, like, oh, you know, here's the lock, you have the key, you know, that kind of thing.
What is your what would be your requirements for reopening? Are you going to do when restaurants reopen, or?
Well, I never have more than 25% of my, clientele in at a time. Well, the truth is that I have 2 playrooms that I use. One of them is on a 3rd floor apartment with windows. So that's the one that I've kept open. I won't even see people in the other room now because it's in a basement. There's very little ventilation, things like that. So I don't, the owner of that home doesn't want me to be there with anybody right now anyway, but I wouldn't feel comfortable with it myself because it's not I don't know, it's just not a conducive for this kind of an environment. Mm-hmm. But I think I'm going to ask people I might ask them to wear a mask because they don't have to speak as much. They don't have to, like, it's more important for me to be visible and verbal than it is for them in the session. Mm-hmm. So, I might be able to get away with that. Nobody touches me anyway, but I've always worn gloves. When I work with people, I mean, that was one of the funniest things about this, because when all of this started happening, I immediately went to my rooms and grabbed boxes of my gloves. Now they're all, surgical latex gloves, but they're black. I'm in ShopRite with my black gloves on, just, like looking very fashionable in my surgical latex gloves. But it was very funny because, like, even like my husband's like, I need gloves. Do you have gloves? I'm like, I got black ones or purple ones. Like, what do you want? So that was funny. Like, I didn't have to find gloves. I already had some. But I probably, I'm sure I will ask them if they've been working the whole time. I do know some of them that are in essential businesses, so I'm less likely to see them. Mm-hmm. A lot of my younger clients they've been home because they can't work. Their jobs were closed or things like that. So I've just said, okay, I don't mind seeing you, but I ask those questions. How many people have you been around? Have you been tested? You have to ask those questions now because it's not just me. I come home to other people.
Yeah.
And, I do watch the news, which I know is stupid at this point because I just sit there all the time going like, oh my God, where are the grownups? Like, isn't there anybody watching him? But it's just sort of, I watch it because I'm curious. I want to know. I need to know some of that information too. So
you like to torture yourself.
So much older. What?
You like to torture yourself.
Well, yeah, that's part of it. Well, I told you, like, I do have some Republican clients, and look, they're getting bad beatings when they come back. I'm like, you better vote for the other guy this time because I'm not going through another 4 years of this shit.
Did you tweet today?
Yeah, I mean, it's really like, I mean, I actually had one client, and I never thought in a million years this would happen. He texted me and he goes, all right, mistress, I'll vote Democrat.
So now you're trying to ruin his life.
Yeah, he just likes to see me. He's like, yeah, this is bad. I'm not voting for this guy again.
Well, I think it's going to be only one person running. One of them might forget where to show up.
No, unfortunately, it's not because you have 2 going for the Libertarian ticket now.
2?
So talk about watching the news and getting mad. I was like,
no, I don't watch anything. Are you kidding me? I haven't watched TV in 10 years. I don't miss any of that crap.
Oh
Probably
God,
more than 15 years.
Me and Stephanie Rule on MSNBC should be best friends by now.
Oh, Jesus. You're watching fake news. That's your problem.
Yeah, right. Oh my God, what was weird? I was watching it the other night, and somebody that I graduated high school with was on because they did a story.
They had what?
They had done a story on one of the doctors that are involved with this, and he was on to talk about his story that he wrote. Oh. I think it was for the New York Times. So I was like, oh my God, I graduated. That was really weird. Like it was.
Well, you actually would be a better story if you said one of your clients was on.
Well, no, I think that I would never do that to, out of respect for them. But
well, you don't have to say who it is, but it would be funny for you to see it.
You know what? It is funny though to see. Well, this was very exciting. This because it didn't happen, so I can probably talk about it because it just didn't happen. And I didn't even know what this was, and this is such a testament to how old I am. But I was getting these emails from a particular person, and they had a name that the name was Fetty. Does that sound familiar to either of you?
No,
okay.
Sounds...
No, it wouldn't sound familiar because it just wouldn't. But apparently he's a rapper. And if you don't listen to rap music, you're not going to know this. But I see Fetty Wap 420 in the email. Like that, I see that in his Twitter handle, whatever it was.
I was hoping you would say it was Chris Christie, but...
No, I'm thinking Fetty. Okay, so Fetish, Wap, he's Italian, and he smokes weed. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, you know, and he contacts me or whatever. And then all of a sudden I tell my sub, who's significantly younger than me, about it. And they're like, Fetty Wap? And I'm like, what the fuck is that? Apparently it's a rapper. And all the stats like proved, now he ended up being a no-show, but it was really hysterical that like for like 2 whole days, we're expecting this like big time rapper to show up for a session. But for whatever reason, he didn't. And it was just, but it was hysterical that I immediately thought, oh, Italian guy with the fetish. And somebody had to be like, no, that's a rapper. I was like, oh, okay. I had no idea. You know?
I have zero clue about any of that stuff. I think Chuck D was probably the last guy I remember. Flavor Flav, maybe.
Yeah, I'm thinking like Sugar Hill Gang. Like,
yeah. I have no idea.
You know, like, who would I know that raps? And I'm thinking, unless they did a duet with Aerosmith, I'm not going to know it.
Fat Boys? Is that what it was?
It was Run DMC. Oh, my God.
Run DMC. But remember Fat Boys?
I do remember them.
Look, I got a guest.
Oh. I would bring, you know, he's too heavy for me to lift.
Well, we just adopted this guy.
Really? This month?
No, it was about a month, maybe 5 weeks ago.
See, right before you're one of those adoptees during the pandemic.
We have 4 cats, so that's a complete coincidence.
So really, he just moved in. He didn't even adopt him. He just
the door's open.
Boris is a cat lady.
Yeah, pretty much.
So you don't have a say in that, Boris? Like you don't get to pick?
No, we picked them together.
Oh, okay. What about you, Alex? Do you have pets?
No. We're allergic to cats. We'd love to have one, but...
I was going to say, I would think that you guys would be, you know, cat people.
Yeah. Plus, we can't have one in our apartment, so it saves us the trouble.
Yeah, well, I can't live without my animals.
Well, you just have to tell your, well, it's not a landlord, but it's a corporation, I guess, that your cat identifies as a child. They can't touch you.
No, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Imagine that lawsuit. That would be hilarious.
Oh, that would be hilarious. I might actually watch that one on Court TV just to see what happens. That would be great.
I identify as LeBron James.
Sue me for introducing the dog. Oh, he would love to get rid of this dog. Every time my cat wakes up, he has this look on his face like he's still here. We don't need him.
It's like sharpening knives in the kitchen.
Oh, my cat, I'm convinced, because when I sleep, I face the door. So like, you know, I lay like where I can look right out the door. And he's always in the hallway when I wake up in the morning, just staring at me. And I can't help but think he's saying, if I had thumbs, you'd be dead.
Well, he wouldn't need you. He can open his own cans.
Well, I declawed him. He has no claws. This was before when you were allowed to still declaw your cat. You know, I don't want to piss off any you know, animal rights activists, but my cat has no front claws. Although he still kills mice, he can still fend for himself. I think he just jumps off high positions and lands on them. But he's you know, he's still pretty and he scares the shit out of my dog, and my dog is 96 pounds.
Ooh.
And my dog is terrified of this cat.
Your cat gives mice heart attacks just looking at him.
I think so. I think mice look at that and go, oh my God, it's a bear. Like, really, they just have no, like he just stares at them, maybe.
Or they catch hardening of the arteries from him.
Maybe. I don't know. I've seen him get a hold of cave crickets. Do you know what those are?
Yeah.
They're horrible. And he pulls all their legs off and leaves one.
Oh.
And watches it jump around on one leg.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah. He's sadistic. He's
He
my
likes
kind of
the Saw movies, I guess.
whatever it is. He's probably going, well, she does it and she gets paid. I'm going to do it for fun.
You say your cat is 36 pounds?
No, 30 pounds.
Okay,
Just
well, it's
30.
bad. It's not a
so
Maine.
bad.
Is the Maine Coon or is just the
No,
gigantic
he's just
fat?
fat.
It's just.
He's fat. My vet says he's just big boned.
He swallowed a bowling ball one day, and you can't pass that.
No, I call him Meatball.
Well, that makes sense.
Totally call him Meatball. Well, did you ever? This is the best way I can describe my cat. But if you haven't seen this movie, it doesn't matter. But did you ever see the movie Evolution with David Duchovny?
I did, but I don't remember.
You don't remember? All right. So, but there was like one of the creatures in it, which somebody kept calling a dog, but it wasn't a dog, and it was one of the creatures, and the way it sits and stands looks exactly like my cat. Like my cat is bow-legged now, and my mother always says that it looks like a poodle in a cat costume. I mean, he's just enormous. I don't know how, and when you look at him, you're just like, oh my God, like, what does he eat? But he eats dog food. I can't get him to stop.
Well,
it's like he has a serious addiction to dog food.
You have a crackhead cat.
Yeah, I do. Definitely. Like if we get rid of the dog, he's going to be like, dude, I didn't like the dog, but bring back the food. I need the food.